Hi, my name is Patrick Reagan. This video will start with the disassembly and reassembly of a laptop computer. This is the last of 4 videos for disassembly and reassembly of computers. The previous videos were disassembly and reassembly of the mini computer, desktop computer, and tower computer. Compared to the previous systems, the laptop computer is much more complicated and much more delicate. Laptop computers are meant to be lightweight, portable, and use less power than the desktop and tower computers. Since it has much more of a condensed or compact design, the laptop is not as expandable as other computers, and it offers more challenges when working inside a laptop computer. Since laptop computers are meant to be portable, they have a battery to power the computer and a power brick to charge the battery or run the computer. When you open the laptop, you'll find the keyboard and the trackpad. The on-off switch is shown here, but many laptop computers will have the on-off switch button on the front or sides. For this model, the one side has 2 Thunderbolt connectors, an HDMI connector, and a USB 3.0 Type-A Super Speed connector. One of the Thunderbolt connectors is used to provide power through a power brick or a Thunderbolt docking station or port replicator. The other side has an audio port for the headphones, an SD slot, and another USB 3.0 Type-A Super Speed connector. While this particular laptop computer did not have a USB Type-C connector, USB Type-C connectors are common on today's newer laptop computers. If you need additional ports, you'll have to purchase a docking station, port replicator, or a USB extension/hub with additional ports. Underneath the computer and on the back side, there are vents for hot air to escape. This is the reason that it's not recommended to put the laptop on your bare lap, as it may cause minor burns. In addition, if the air cannot escape through these vents, the laptop may overheat. At the bottom, you usually find the model number and the serial number of the computer. Keep in mind that you'd always check the warranty. Some warranties will be voided if you open or service the computer yourself. While that is true of any machine, it is more common with laptop computers. In addition, unless you have been trained in a model or have lots of experience with a specific model, you should use your favorite browser to retrieve the service guides and/or videos on the specific model that you're working on. While it is relatively easy to replace a battery or replace and upgrade memory or hard drive, other work that needs to be done is usually more difficult and require care so that you don't cause damage inside the computer. Of course, since the laptop computer is more complicated, you should consider taking lots of pictures so that you can get the system back together again. Before working inside the computer, you should first disconnect the computer from external power. Lastly, you should wear a properly connected ESD strap. This slide shows a page from the service manual for the primary model that I'm showing in this video, which shows you the breakdown of the various components in the laptop computer. You jump to the instructions for the system board. It says to first remove the base cover, battery, memory, SSD drive, WLAN card, heatsink fan assembly, power adapter port, and display assembly before you can start removing the system board. This is just one such example so that you can see what type of information is available from the vendor. Of course, I would try to get hold of some old laptops and practice on them so you can gather some experience. Opening the laptop usually consists of removing screws from the bottom edges using a number 0 Phillips or precision screwdriver. After the screws are removed, you have to pry the base cover using a flat edge screwdriver, working around the edges until the base cover is free. When you open the laptop computer, the components that are easy to identify is the battery and the CPU fan. Many batteries will show you a warning that you should first disconnect and remove the battery before doing any other service inside the computer. You have to first identify the screws that hold the battery. You will also need to identify the power cable and connector for the battery. You'll then remove the screws. And you'll disconnect the battery. Laptops use SO-DIMMs for memory. Some systems will have one slot for memory, while other systems may have two slots for memory. If you want more memory and you only have one slot, you're going to have to remove the memory and install a larger size memory module, assuming your model will recognize it. Similar to the mini computer that I showed, the memory is held by two tabs that you pull apart to free the memory, which you can then pull out. When you want to install memory, you insert the memory in a 45-degree angle and click the memory into place. Today in laptops, most hard drives are SSD. It's usually held with a single screw. Undo the screw and lift the drive out from its connector. To install the drive, you just reverse the process and insert the drive into the connector at an angle and press the drive into place. You then fasten the screws. Different from a desktop or tower computer, the laptop computer has a CPU fan with a heat pipe instead of the bulky heat sink. The heat pipe draws heat away from the processor. So in this case, the processor is not directly under the fan, but is under the heat pipe. To remove the fan and heat pipe, you locate and remove the screws. You also need to remove the power connector for the fan. Similar to the desktop and tower computer, the processor has thermal paste. As you can see, when the thermal paste is removed, the processor is actually soldered onto the system board. You should also note that the processor has two dies instead of a single chip die. If you want to replace the processor, you're going to have to replace the motherboard. Removing the motherboard and keyboard are almost one of the more complicated components to work on because of all the other components you have to remove before you get to these components. What may be surprising you is that you have to remove the system board to get to the keyboard, and then when you get to the keyboard, it is held by approximately 40 screws. Yes, a good time for all. When removing the system board, besides the screws, you will have multiple connections that you'll have to detach. The top one is normal, whereas the small connector which you pull out. However, Many of the connectors that you use at ribbon cable will have some kind of latch that you'll have to release first before pulling out the ribbon cable. As shown by the far left cable and the two far right cables, if you're not looking for the latch, you may try to pull the cable out without releasing the latch and damage the connector. This slide shows you how to remove the display, which consists of removing 6 screws and a ribbon cable that also uses a latch to release the cable. In summary, laptop computers are meant to be lightweight and portable and are meant to use less power. Unfortunately, laptop computers have limited expansion and upgrade capability. Before opening a laptop computer, always check warranty. Some warranties will be voided if you open or service the computer yourself. Unless you've been trained in a certain model, you should use your favorite browser to retrieve service guides and/or videos on how to properly service a laptop computer. Be sure to wear a properly grounded ESD strap before working inside a computer. Before working inside a laptop computer, be sure to disconnect power. When working inside a computer, you should remove the battery first before doing anything else. Removing memory and disk are easy operations in a laptop computer. Laptop computers have a CPU fan with heat pipe to cool the processor. Make sure that you don't have any screws left over when you assemble the computer. Thank you for watching this video. This completes the Disassembly and Assembly series. The next series is Computer Primary Components. Thank you.